Welcome to 30-Second Chances, where we ask deep, contemplative questions and provide far too little time to formulate thoughtful, reflective answers. My guest today is Reek Havok from Sounds Amazing. Reek, how you doing?
I'm great, thank you. How are you?
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, you know the drill. 30 seconds on the clock and then on to the next question. Are you ready?
Probably not, but let's do it.
Cool. All right. Question number one. Describe your job to a 5-year-old.
I make sounds for movies and video games that have fun and give you, that's a tough one. I make sounds for movies and video games. How about that?
I was kind of liking where you were going with it. I was watching you deeper down the rabbit hole, you know.
I was going deep there for a minute. I had to stop.
Next question. The Reek Havok action figure has just been released. What two must-have accessories are bundled with it?
A pair of drumsticks and a little tiny synthesizer.
How tiny is tiny? I mean,
well, I guess the action figure would be tiny, so the synthesizer would be tiny as well.
Okay. I was, I had to think about that one for a minute. I'm thinking, you know, like when.
Yeah, a little bigger, as you can see behind me, but.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, we'll go with that. All right. Okay. Next question. Oh, this is a good one for you.
Uh-oh.
What's the strangest thing you've ever done for money?
Ooh, let's see. Boy, that's a good, there's a lot of possibilities there. I would say the strangest thing I've done was I was in a band with Butch Patrick, who was Eddie Munster on the Munsters. And we had a video and a single that was the Munsters theme song with lyrics that was Whatever Happened to Eddie. And I was the Michael Nesmith of the group, who basically I was the only one who actually played on the record and was in the videos. Oh, I got that in.
I've heard about this, actually. That sounds very, very bizarre.
Yeah, you can find that video online. It's it was really, the whole thing was really low budget. And they were trying to get a TV series out of it. That was the whole idea.
Of course they were. Okay, next question. If you could have one pointless or semi-useless superpower, what would it be and why?
A senseless and useless one. I would have the ability to automatically mute sounds in spaces, whether it be a guitarist, a horrible guitarist on the stage, nagging person over to my left or right, all the gardeners in my neighborhood and their blowers. Boom, boom, boom.
I love it, man. Mute man.
Mute man.
Very, very cool. Okay, next question. What's the worst mistake you've ever made in a professional setting?
We were playing a gig at called Martial Arts Madness. And it was the very beginning of the merge between martial arts and the World Wrestling Federation. So these big characters, stage fights, big theatrical presentation. And we were a live band, 3 of us that performed. So we had theme songs for each one of the guys, and we played jungle kind of beats during the things. Well, the one guy came out, and I hadn't turned the page yet, and I started playing something completely different that was so wrong. It was like...
Okay, next question. Steve Irwin has you in a headlock. What is he telling the audience about you and your native habitat?
Oh, look at the beautiful creature. Ain't it lovely? Now, this beast lives in a very noisy environment on the west coast of the United States. Rarely seen, but very, very contentious and bites, has a vicious bite.
I just want to tell you that is probably the worst Australian accent I've ever heard.
Hey, I have an image to live down to.
Hey, just saying. Okay, next question. What's the weirdest thing you believed as a small child?
Oh, this is a good one. So my father had a bad habit of telling me these wild stories to keep me away from things. Now, the older cars had a headlight switch on the floor.
Right.
You step on it, the headlights, the bright lights would come on and stuff. So I asked my father what that was, and he said, never step on that because that makes the entire car flip over. So I used to have nightmares of getting into the car and there'd be like a close-up of my foot hitting that button, and then, you know, a view from outside the car, and the car would go up, flip upside down, and bam. And I probably believed that for 3 years.
Oh, that's great, man. Okay, next question. If you had a mini-me that was 12 inches tall, what tasks would you assign to him?
Oh, I'd have it going behind my racks and finding all the trinkets and cables and magic things that have been lost back there over the years.
Lost guitar picks and yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while we pull back things to rewire, and it's like, there's the this, and hey, look at that, and I forgot I had one of these. so I'd have him on a little Easter egg hunt.
Actually, I like that. I like that. I think I might have to get one just for that.
I might, yeah, now that you mentioned it.
Okay, next question. What would 15-year-old you be most and least impressed with about present day you?
Let's see. 15-year-old me was very impressed by odd time signatures. We're just getting into progressive rock, Gentle Giant, Genesis, and the likes. And, you know, I was on a mad march to figure out all these time signatures and be able to count them and that. And then the least impressive thing, I think, were probably other drummers in my neighborhood.
Okay, that concludes our questions. I'm going to now put 30 seconds on the clock and allow you to either answer a question you wish I had asked you, shamelessly plug something, pontificate, ask me a question, do whatever you want. It's 30 seconds. It's all yours. Go.
Okay, Daniel, I'm going to ask you a question.
Shit, I hate when that happens.
What is the worst outfit that you ever wore? Maybe something you picked out or something that you had to wear for a gig.
I actually had a disco ball suit.
Whoa.
I still own it in point.
Oh.
Yes. It looks like, you know, it's got the little squares, you know, reflective squares on it and stuff. Pants, suit, and even a matching tie.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it really is. I don't think I fit in it anymore, but, you know, for what it's... There you go. Reek Havok, thank you for being my guest.
It was my pleasure. I had a great time.